Hello, Dr. Castleberry here with our COM 4123 Media Production Techniques Week 4 Video Discussion Prompt. In this course, we work through a series of cycles that put our students into hands-on experiences, creating original media. We're drawing from the influence of film, but we're also, of course, regularly comparing to what else we know. We know media from television, we know media from streaming, we know media from social media and the various platforms in which we encounter media there. And so we're both looking to the past as well as the present to supply our knowledge toward the future. And we're excited for your future. And just as a quick recap for context, in weeks 1 and 2, you have plural media shorts that you're producing side by side. And then in weeks 3 and 4, we narrow that down to one media short per week. However, we add the component of the slow development of your final media short that is in week 5, the end of that accelerated course cycle. And so that media short is our 7th and final shot quiz, as we also call them. And in this class, you get the chance in weeks 3 and 4 to do prep work toward that eventual outcome. So in some ways, we're laying groundwork, laying track that allows you to work ahead, to plan better. And we hope that will create a more robust outcome that has challenge to it, that is innovative, and above all, thoughtful in your creative decision making and problem solving. Well, in week 3, the companion component is scripting. You get a chance to work on scripting. We have some reading set aside earlier in the course about scripting, about narrative. And so we tackle that to give us some broad introductions of sorts and then allow you space to develop out some ideas. And then in addition to scripting out, in week 4, you begin to plot that visually in advance. And so you do that through creation of storyboards. That is the secondary assignment of week 4. And so I want to take those secondary assignments of weeks 3 and 4 and then create some space for you all to talk us through that process to this point in our week 4 video discussion. All right. And so we begin scripting in week 3. In week 4, we storyboard toward that final media short in week 5. And so part of our encouragement to you all is that you use multiple locations and multiple cast members and potentially stretch your resources as far as they can go toward an innovative outcome. The challenge, of course, is that our final shot quiz, that media short in week 5, number 7, is a oneer. And you may not have started watching those oneer clips yet, but I really think you all will appreciate the competitive artistry that goes into capturing a oneer. There's a lot of creative blocking and angling. You have to think about and solve for problems in advance, because if you run into them during the shoot, guess what? You got to start all over. And so you're writing a script to potentially start to think about it, and then the storyboards are about visualizing it, and that should cut down some of the stress and improve the efficiency and effectiveness of when you shoot it in week 5. And so I want you all to pause in your video discussion response and walk us through some of your stages thus far in putting your ideas together. I want you to talk about if or how you might have either approached your script in week 3, or if you utilized, for this particular assignment, I believe we lift the cap and encourage, if you're creatively in need, some assistance from LLMs of some kind, right? So AI assisted organization of our ideas. And then perhaps even in the storyboard generation in week 4. All right. And so talk about what relationship technology is playing in your creation and cultivation of ideas. And then also pitch for us a couple of the locations, it could be interior or exterior, maybe both, that you're scouting for that final media short in week 5. What locations are you thinking about using? And thus that would prime us to return to our question of the week in closing, which is what challenges are you potentially facing or trying to work out in your head in advance of producing that oneer in the final week? And let's use that question space at the end of your video discussion response to open up dialogue so that you all can speak into each other's ongoing projects and perhaps not only provide encouragement, but suggestions for the problem solving process, all right? And so progress on your construction of script and storyboard if you utilized AI, or if you prefer to just do that through old-fashioned, original creative thinking. And then scouting of locations, list where you're thinking about some of the site locations you're thinking about using. You don't have to spoil the narrative or message of your oneer, but where are you thinking about bringing it to life? And then finally, what question or hurdle do you foresee experiencing to bring this final media short to fruition in week 5? That sounds like enough to give us a lot of momentum in our discussion space for week 4 in COM 4123 Media Production Techniques.